evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. Today is Tuesday, May the 3rd, 2022. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Tullahoma celebrates Arbor Day, names the largest willow oak in the state of Tennessee, and we have high school concert performances. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live. That's all there is to it, no doubt about that.
It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. You know, we love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Friday was Arbor Day, and the Tullahoma Parks and Rec Department, along with members of the Tullahoma Tree Board, held a ceremony behind the painted house where Tennessee's largest willow oak resides. I was out there and brought back this video.
I don't think we could have asked for a more beautiful spring, little bit humid morning. Underneath the boughs of a tree that, if my math is right, is around 250, almost 260 years old. It's incredible that it is here, which we'll talk about throughout the program this morning, because if you know a little bit about history, especially with this being a Civil War headquarters at one time, most of the trees from that time were cut down to where it was almost clear cut all the way across town. So for a tree like this to have survived that, at least by my math, is pretty extraordinary, and I can't imagine a better setting to come out and celebrate Arbor Day underneath it. I'm going to tell you a brief history of Arbor Day. This is in your program, but I also like to read it too, just to make sure that you understand why we celebrate this event. So on January 4th, 1872, which ironically is 70 years ago, former U.S. Secretary of Agriculture and Nebraska newspaper editor J. Sterling Morton suggested to the Nebraska State Board of Agriculture that a tree planting holiday needed to be created, and he wanted to call it Arbor Day. They agreed, and on April 10th, 1872, that was the very first one, and historical estimates say that there was about 1 million trees put in the ground that day, and almost every year since then. Within 10 years of that event being formed, school systems across the nation also adopted it and also started planting trees. So within 10 years, this holiday caught on nationwide and has been going strong for, this is the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day. And to be here under a tree that actually predates that, I think is pretty extraordinary. So I don't want to keep y'all very long today, but I am going to introduce a couple of our speakers. Ms. Annie Roan, who owns the painted house here and also the property this tree on. So Annie, thank you very much for allowing us to do this today. So at this time, we're going to keep you in suspense a little bit longer. I'd like to invite our tree board chairman, Mr. Ralph Graham, to come up. He's going to speak a little bit about Tullahoma's 25th Tree City USA designation and our third growth award. Ralph?
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you all. It's a great day, a day to celebrate. And I want to talk about Tree City USA. What does that mean, really? How did we get this? This flag here, 25 years in a row, we've been recognized for, there are 4 standards for it. One of them is that we have a tree board, another that we have a tree care ordinance, another that we contribute $2 per capita towards the forestry program, and the 4th is that we celebrate Arbor Day, which we're doing today. So that's what it's all about. 25 years in a row, quite a history. And it shows that we're a city that cares about trees. And then what is the Growth Award? We've had 2 previous ones, and the Growth Award has, I looked at, it has 12 pages of specifications on it. I'm not going to bore you with that right now. I want to tell you that some of the major things, it looks growth. It looks for growth in the budget. Our budget now is almost $4 per capita, so we will exceed the requirement for a minimum standard of Arbor Day, Tree City, USA. Another thing is that we have asked for and gotten several tree grants through the TUFC, the Tullahoma Urban Forestry Council, and it led to the development of the U.S. Arboretum, which is behind East Middle School, and I invite you all to go visit that. It's on a 25-acre plot, and we have right now level 2 certification, which is over 60 species of trees, not trees, species of trees. And this year, we will, by a discovery process, incorporate trees that are on the property and name them. And also, we're adding more trees through a planting program.
And there, I'd like to invite for a moment Mr. Robert Elliott to come up from Tennessee Urban Forestry Council, say a couple words about our program today.
On behalf of myself and the Arbor Day Foundation, Tennessee Division of Forestry, and the Tennessee Urban Forestry Council, I just want to say congratulations for being a tree city, for being a Tree Line USA again. This is very special, very great, and you really need to celebrate it. And once again, thank you for inviting me. So that's all I got.
Mr. Monty Hawkins, who is also a member of the tree board. Monty, would you like to come up and talk about Tree Line?
One thing that Tullahoma has that is unique is that we are part of the Energy Savings Tree Program through the National Arbor Day. We're the only utility in this state that does that, the only one. So you are one of one, and honestly, I believe we'll continue that. We have done it now 5 years. Look for it in the fall, usually after pre-register, but it's about planting trees for energy savings, and I understand that that's a long-term commitment.
After these messages, we'll have the naming of Tullahoma's historic tree.
One thing about park review, we could bring our animal out there with us.
It would have been a deal breaker if we had not been able to take Gracie.
Yeah, we would not have gone.
If you want to do something, there's something to do most of the day. You shouldn't get bored.
I really enjoy my life here at Parkview. I really choose what I want to do. We have a wonderful library with hundreds of books that I love. It is a wonderful place.
To be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus.
I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends.
Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. The city of Tullahoma officially named Tennessee's largest willow oak tree, located behind the Painted House on East Lincoln Street. We go now to that ceremony.
So back in 2020, when COVID was raging, I had some things I still had to do, and one of them was to come out and take some measurements on this tree. And I had heard discussions throughout my entire time here at Parks and Rec about how this was the oldest or largest tree in town, but in my duties as a forester, I went, well, okay, I guess it's my responsibility to go out and verify this. So I did. I came out and measured it and started looking at it, and Ralph and I had been discussing some previous designations that the University of Tennessee Department of Agriculture had about state champion trees. And so that program went inactive for a little while, but they reactivated it amazingly, either in 2019 or 2020. It was right around the same time. And they were starting fresh. They wanted measurements on trees around the state to be designated new champion trees. The previous one was in Shelby County over near Memphis, and my understanding, I have not been over there to see it, but my understanding is it is still there. But I think our tree has eclipsed that a little bit in growth, because when they came out to verify ours, they determined that ours was the largest. So this is, at the moment, the state champion willow oak in all of Tennessee. And I think that's a pretty extraordinary designation to get. And it's, you know, like Ralph said earlier, we planned it to where it was leafed out for this today. Just did that on purpose. It wouldn't be so much fun if it was bare. So, you know, a tree that's that special, I think also should have had a special name that went with it. So we put out the word, and we had several people that sent in really good suggestions, and it was a difficult choice. The tree board got together, we met for over an hour, arguing over which name we thought was better. We narrowed it down to a few, then we scrapped that list and started again and narrowed it down to a few more, and finally found that we couldn't decide because there were some really good ones. So we started hybridizing. We started shuffling names around a little bit and seeing what we could come up with, and we took 2 entries and combined those 2 names into the name that was decided finally for the tree. Which we have a sign here that we're going to unveil. And if I know that one is here, I'm hoping that they're both here, but I would like for the 2 ladies who suggested these names to come up, along with Ralph and Mayor Noahs, to unveil our tree name. So I know Deborah Dusterhouse is here, and is Paige Prescott Moore here? I hadn't seen her yet. She said she was going to try to make it, but she had a crazy amount of things to do that she did not. Okay, so that's all right. We're going to go with who we've got. So, Mayor Noahs, Chairman Graham, Deborah. I'll take the clip off. I'll take the clip off, and then I'll give them a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The name that we chose was Annie Oak Tree, the Queen City Guardian. And on the surface, you might think that that's named for a specific reason, but it's actually not. We dug into some history behind this, and that name has a lot of history to it. So the first thing I'd like to do before we do that is congratulations, Deborah, on being one of the selectees, and I have a certificate for you to commemorate that. So they can see. Photo opportunity if you'd like one. I'd like to invite Annie Roan up to come up and talk about where the Annie part of this came from. So Annie, would you join us, please?
Deborah, thank you. That was a lovely nomination. Lovely write-up. Thank you. And thank you all for coming here. The reason I'm so emotional is because I do love my name. I love my name Annie because I was named after this wonderful woman. Her name is Annie Lou Woodside, and she was my great-grandmother. She lived on North Washington Street for 60 years. She was one of the first people that they hired at the shoe factory over here. So when I look at this tree, and I have always looked at this tree with thoughts of strength and beauty, you know, I also think about, you know, what it has seen, who it has seen. And I'd like to think that my Annie Lou maybe walked by it on her way to work every day, or came by after church at front. She was a member of the First Baptist Church, and they walked everywhere. So anyway, it means so much to me, and I'm very honored, and I was so touched by what you wrote, Deborah. Thank you, but I also just really, it means so much to me that I can honor her. So thank you all so much. I also want to make sure that you all know that you're always welcome here. It would make me so happy to come to work one day and see someone picnicking under this great tree. Or, you know, just as long as we all are kind and loving to it, then yes, you're welcome. So anyway, also I promise to always take the best care of it as I can for as long as I have it. And I'm so grateful and feel very blessed and honored. So thank you.
I'm Mark Shemp. I'm on the tree board. I have been from the inception. There's a few of us that have. And one of my other hats I wear is I'm president of the Historic Preservation Society. So this tree meets it both ways. Thanks, Cindy. It's historic. It predates the city. It predates, obviously, any of us. It predates our country. Back there when we were talking about being a free and open country, this tree was already throwing some shade for us. So we are grateful for that, and so it covers both historic and preservation in its age and the fact that it's been preserved and we're continuing to. And underscored with Annie and her use of the painted house, those of us in the history and the preservation community love when you can take and convert and reuse something old into something new again. So we're grateful for Annie just for that in itself.
So early promoters of Tullahoma as a place to come and settle nicknamed our town the Queen City of the Highland Rim. And for many years, Tullahoma went by that name, the Queen City. I'd like to invite up the Parks and Recreation Director, Mr. Dave Anderson.
So my challenge for you all as we leave is for us all to be guardians of our trees in Tullahoma. We need to all do our part to really protect our trees, to care for our trees. So that's my challenge for you. And as we close, let's give one more round of applause for our state champion tree, Annie Oak Tree, Queen City Guardian. Thank you so much for coming today.
And after these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Welcome back. We now bring you a song from the Tullahoma Symphonic Band performing the song Mambo from West Side Story. be right back with more news after these messages.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
Hi, I'm Fran Gray with Alzheimer's Tennessee. When you receive a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease for yourself or someone you love, please know that you do not have to go through this journey alone. Alzheimer's Tennessee is here for you to provide support and education, all the help you may need to get through this challenge. Our number is 931-434-2348. We encourage you to give us a call. We're here to help.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. And now we have a clip from the Tullahoma Spring Choir concert with the concert choir performing Viva. And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Beverly Long, who has auditions for the Nutcracker on Saturday. South Jackson's Greg Gressel will stop by to talk about events coming up and the big payback. And we'll hear from Kat Murray and her 25 years in business at McMurr's in Tullahoma. All that and more on this week's Living. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1928 at 88 degrees. The record low was in 1909 at 34 degrees. The average high for this day is 75 and the average low is 52. Showers expected for tonight with a low of 62. Slight chance of rain for Wednesday with a high of 79 and a low of 58. And thunderstorms expected for Thursday with a high of 85 and a low of 63. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe. Have a great evening.